What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 29 of ConvoBREAKER. This episode is going to be a little weird for those of you guys who are new to the show. Usually we have an intro in the beginning, and a couple episodes ago my laptop broke and the intro got stuck on there. I have the intro now, so hopefully, no, for sure, next episode we'll have the intro. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mario Valdez. I'm the host, and I usually have another host with me, Luis Marquez. But right now, he's out of state, brushing up on his folkloric dancing. So he takes that yearly out of state trip, and he checks if there's any updates on, the art of folkloric dancing. He did it last year, and he's doing it again this year. Actually, if you look on our Facebook at ConvoBREAKER Geek Pod, I think it is, or Geek Podcast, the link's on the podcast link anyway. So wherever you're listening to this, the Facebook link will be on there. He should be posting videos from where he's at right now. Should be posting pics too. So by the time this episode goes up, you should either see stuff or have already seen stuff on Facebook. So like I said, my name is Mario Valdez, and this is episode 29. So usually, for those of you guys who don't know either, we usually, talk geek news of the past week, first, and then we'll go into our main topic. This episode, I'm not gonna have a main topic. I'm just gonna talk about the news. But we're gonna have a topic for when Lewis comes back. So I'll tell you guys about that later. So also too, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who listens to the show, new listeners who've been listening since the beginning. We hit 500 downloads in our lifetime of starting the episode. We were gone for a few months, I think like 20 something episodes in, and then we came back. We came back on our anniversary. So yeah, we've been steady since, and we plan to keep it steady. Me and Lewis already have a plan on how we're gonna do things. So we're doing that right now. Let's see what we got. So before I go into the news, I just wanted to say something a little personal, real quick. So, I got a new job, at a laboratory, and I thought it was interesting because we all know what happens in laboratories, right? Accidents happen, you get bit by a radioactive bug, and bam, you get superpowers. So, this being a geek podcast and all, I thought it was pretty awesome that I got this job because maybe next time you hear, I'll be a superhero. So I'm aiming for something like Spider-Man, the Hulk. I really don't care. Maybe if it's a cricket or something, but yeah, that'd be cool. And with that said, I'm just kidding. I hope I don't get into an accident there. It's a pretty serious laboratory, and let's face it, if a spider could get radio activated, or if any kind of bug could get radio activated, I'd be screwed. So pretty much what would happen is if I get bit, and I'd get radioactive poisoning, an insect bite, and most likely my dick would probably fall off or something. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. So if you guys, also too, if you guys have any like comments or questions on anything on the shows or anything that we post, just feel free to hit us up. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on our email too if you want. It's convobreaker@gmail.com. Let's see. Also too, if Twitter too, we have Twitter. Well, I have a Twitter. I've been using the Twitter. I don't think right now, it would help or be easy for us to use a Twitter and a separate Instagram account. So for now, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I usually post stuff there too, the pictures or other geek stuff that I don't post on the Facebook page. You can find me at mv7.0. So it's going to be point spelled out and then a zero. So mv7point 0. So you can find me on there. So without further ado, let's get into the news. So first things first. Cable images for Cable came out. Josh Brolin's Cable for Deadpool 2. I posted those on Facebook, and I saw some of your comments. Some of you guys liked it, some of you guys didn't like it. he has the full metal arm, because of the techno-organic virus, and he has a little bear hanging from his belt, probably something that has to do with Hope Summers or something like that. And then, he has, uh, what's it called? I'm pretty sure that's a grenade launcher he has with him. Some kind of hybrid, something like you would find in Resident Evil. It's like some kind of assault weapon with a grenade launcher attached, and you see the grenade rounds on his belt. He has the silver hair. He has a scar on his eye and on his face, and he has the glowing eye. I thought it looked pretty cool. But one thing I will say is that I went on a rant a few episodes ago, and basically what it was saying is that, because this goes attached to the Deadpool 2 review from last episode, which was Addie Beats images of her domino. So we talked about it last episode. I'll post that up if you guys want to see it. Just let me know, or I'll post it on the cable post or whatever. But I mean, with comic book movies, people got to understand that, especially if you read comics at all, if you read any kind of comics at all, then you know this. And the thing is that, um, when 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 there's a comic book run or there's a series or whatever, whatever it be, X-Men, Spider-Man, you're always within that run. The art is never going to stay the same for the entire run unless it's like a limited series, or if you're lucky, even the same group is going to stay on that title for a pretty long run. But I mean, even when there's news, whatever. My point is that you're gonna have, for the same character, you're gonna have tons of different art styles. You're gonna have tons of different looks. I mean, for the most part, you're gonna have the character represented the same way. He's gonna act the same way. He's gonna have the same powers, of course, but as far as look wise and maybe tone just a little bit, he's gonna change. I mean, we've seen it with Wolverine in like I said, if you read the comics, you know what I'm talking about. Wolverine, he's had some really quirky times in his comic run too. Deadpool, Spider-Man. I mean, basically what I'm trying to say is that live action film is always going to be different. It's not ever going to be exactly the same. And that's basically what it is. It's just another artist running with this character, using, what they have, making it his own, basically, while still using the core elements of the character. So, and then also, too, this is pre-production stuff. So a lot of people jump on it right away, and they're like, oh, this looks like this, and this looks like this looks like this. These are all just first looks. So it's gonna change out. And the reason why I'm saying this, I think, is just because people should give things a chance. And if we haven't learned our lesson right now with Heath Ledger, then I don't know what else you need to learn from that. Because I'm not saying that it works all the time. There's been some movies where things really didn't work out. For one example, Fantastic Four, the reboot that Fox did. But yeah, I mean, just give it a chance. These actors that they have, they're good actors. I mean, Josh Brolin, come on, he's Thanos. And also too, you have Ryan Reynolds, still, with his hand in it, and he's not, he wants it to succeed too. That he is Deadpool. I mean, so he's, I trust him. Basically, is what I'm saying. And we should too, and we shouldn't be so quick to jump, and bash it. Um, uh, but um, but yeah, I mean that's what I wanted to say. And just, I mean, giving it a chance, because another example too was, I remember when they released the pre-production photos of, well, they released them pretty early, and it was of what's his name, as Apocalypse, and X-Men Apocalypse, the movie, duh. So basically everyone was saying, oh, he's purple, he looks like Ivan News, blah blah blah. And there was that stupid meme going around, and then like a few weeks later, because basically technically it was just behind the scenes, pictures. There wasn't any kind of effect work done on it, because they do that. When they release these photos, there's no, because everything that's done in comic book movies, you're gonna have something, you're gonna have something done on top of it, whether it be digitally or cosmetically. It's gonna change. So basically, what I was gonna say was, like, I think a week or two after 2 weeks after they released that image, that purple Apocalypse image, they released the Entertainment Weekly photo, and he was blue like he was supposed to be. Maybe the costume cosmetically or prosthetically didn't look the way it was supposed to, but color wise was, that was the thing that a lot of people were pinned on, and it changed. So basically, what I'm saying is Deadpool 2, Cable. I think he looks cool. I can't wait to see the movie. There were some action shots in there, but a lot of these early pre-production things, I really don't like paying too much attention to them because I feel like it gives away too much of the movie. I like to be surprised when I see things. So just so you guys know, there's pictures like that out there. So if you guys are interested, just Google, shit should pop up unless they took it down. Let's see. Next bit of news. Oh, like I said, opinions. If you have any opinions, I'm down to debate or just read your opinions on them. But just be respectful of each other and the content that's put out there, because there's a lot of hate that goes out. People. It's real easy for people to be negative online. I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've probably done it a handful of times, but that or I'll catch myself. But just it's fun stuff. So if you don't like it, don't post anything about it. Unless it's gonna be unless you're open to have a debate about it, basically is what I'm saying. Let's see, next piece of news. So next piece of news is kind of crazy. I'm a Transformers fan. I didn't grow up with it, only I missed it by a couple of years when I was growing up, but I am a big Transformers fan. I love Transformers games. I loved the first movie when it came out, the first live action movie. I actually collect Transformers. But basically, with this piece of news, Hasbro is coming out with a new Transformers animated movie. It's in development right now. Now, that's pretty awesome. Um, the thing that sucks about that is that it's going to be canon with the live action films, which sucks because if you're a Transformers fan, I don't know how many legit Transformers fans like the direction or been, enjoying the live action Transformers films now. But what's kind of weird to me is that most of the time, well, I think a majority of the success of the, and maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, just let me know. That a majority of the success of the live action films comes from people who maybe don't know too much of the lore, or maybe people who didn't pay too much attention to the cartoon, uh, or the animated series, or the comic books, blah blah blah. Because I have some comic books too, but that basically what they do with these movies, they're blockbusters because they're aimed toward an open audience, people that know the lore and people that don't know the lore. And I think a lot of this banks on, well, a lot of these Transformers films, and the reason why they keep going is because of the star names they have attached to them, and then of course the big explosions, blah blah blah. It's eye candy basically, and I think a lot of it's it's money generated from people who aren't fans. So back to what I was gonna say is that usually when there's animated series like this, aside from the kids, you're gonna have people who grew up with these characters and people who know the lore. People, our age, my age, 29, whatever, even older. They'll still watch the animated series. Um, but I think, and like I said, I might be wrong. I think it's a mistake having a new live action animated series come out based on the canon. I think, I don't know. I just don't think that people are that interested as far as expanding the lore to that extent when it comes to the live action films. Like I said, I could be wrong. I don't know when it's coming out. All I know is that it's in development. So we'll see what happens with that. Speaking of Transformers, the Transformers movies, the writers are gone. So all the writers that have been working, I guess, with Michael Bay and all that stuff until now, all the writers have been ditched or dumped or whatever. So maybe that comes to the point from what I was saying now that, maybe some of the, you know, maybe there's something going wrong with the direction that Transformers went as far as live action wise, because we all know that I think this past movie was Michael Bay's last, and for sure he's not going to be attached to him anymore. Ooh, excuse me. Also because of the Bumblebee movie coming out, I think also too from what I saw is that the director for that movie is gone now too. But I know it's not going to be Michael Bay, so it's going to be somebody else. So I don't know. Maybe Transformers is going to go in a new direction. Maybe it's going to have a soft reboot. I don't know, but we'll see what happens with that. If you're a fan of the Transformers movies, let me know, and also too, let me know if you grew up with the animated series when you were a kid, or any of the ones that were on TV recently. I don't know if it was they were on Cartoon Network or Disney XD. I'm not really sure. I want to say Disney. I don't think so though, but Lewis would have probably known. But Lewis is not here, so if you guys know, let me know. Next piece of movie news. Hellboy. I was a big fan of Hellboy. I wasn't so much a fan of the first movie. It kind of bored me, but it was a good intro to the character, live action wise. But I really loved the second movie. Um, uh, so we all know that Ron Perlman's not coming back to do a third one. Him and Guillermo del Toro just couldn't get it. They couldn't get it picked up, or Guillermo del Toro got busy doing other things, and it just didn't happen. But so we all know the reboot's we all should know now that the reboot is happening. I said it. I said this news on one of our past episodes. So basically, it's going to be called Hellboy's Rise of the Blood Queen. And for those of you who don't know, David Harbour is going to be playing Hellboy. And if you guys don't know who that is, he played the police officer, or the cop in Stranger Things. So he's going to be Hellboy, and now we have the villain. So the main villain of the film is going to be the Blood Queen, and I just found out that Mila Jovovich is going to be playing Blood Queen. So Alice from Resident Evil is going to be joining the cast of Hellboy, and I think that's pretty awesome. Not too much. I don't know too much about Hellboy comics. I've been wanting to get into them. I like the art style that they have, but I saw some pictures of Blood Queen, and it looks pretty cool. I think she'll be a pretty cool fit for the movie, and I don't know if I've seen her play a villain recently, but I think it's interesting to see her playing a villain in a comic book movie. I think the last time we saw her as a villain was the first Zoolander. So if you guys remember Zoolander, she was like the evil model behind everything or whatever. I think she's the one that brainwashes the hand model or whatever. But so yeah, Mila Jovovich, part of Hellboy: Rise of the Blood Queen. I don't know when that movie's coming out, but I'm looking forward to that. And like I said too, that's a reboot. So hopefully it's gonna start a new trilogy that'll actually finish. Next up, so I have some TV news. Actually, I have quite a bit of TV news. Actually, I don't have as much news as I thought I was gonna have. I'm actually running out, so this is probably gonna be like a short half hour, 40-minute episode of the way I'm going right now. So here are your TV pieces. Or you know what? Before I go into TV, let me do movies. I can stick to movies. So Infinity War. This was stupid. I saw a post because a lot of these outlets don't know how to word their posts, and a lot of it's clickbait too. I try to filter out who the reliable sources are so that I can relate, legit news to you guys. So basically, there was a post that said Infinity War begins production, which was stupid because production had started back when they released that first teaser video of Chris Pratt talking with, standing next to Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. So I think I found out that post production has started already. So I guess it's gonna be like whatever reshoots they need to do and all that stuff. But so yeah, so that's hopefully will be. I think they were waiting for pre-production to end in order for us to have a trailer, because when they released that trailer at D23 in San Diego Comic Con, the Russo brothers, because a lot of people were saying, "Hey, just release the trailer since you released it at D23, blah blah blah." Well, I didn't tell you guys, but the Russo brothers said that they were waiting to get the right footage that they wanted to release the trailer. So basically, the trailer I think that we're gonna get is gonna be different from the. I'm thinking it's gonna be a lot different than the trailer that the guys at D23 and San Diego Comic Con saw. And originally, even before the D23 trailer, I had heard that the first trailer was gonna come out in November. So I mean, either that or maybe we'll be lucky and we'll see it running before Thor. I don't know, because I thought we should have had it already. But anyways, even with that news, that means that everybody else is one step closer to seeing the real a real trailer for Infinity War. So that's kind of exciting. So can't wait for that. Let's see. I got some more movie news. Two more pieces of movie news, and then we'll go into TV stuff. So, Spider-Man: Homecoming. It's gonna be coming out in October for home release. So I'm looking forward to that. We probably won't do another episode on it because we've had two episodes on Homecoming. One was when the first two, or I think it was two trailers that came out at the same time. We did one episode, and it's funny because I never went back to edit them, but the episodes ended up being called the same thing. So one is Spider-Man: Homecoming when the trailers originally came out, and then the other one was when we actually saw the movie and we did a small review on it. So if you've seen Spider-Man already and you want to hear a discussion about it, we would talk about all the Easter eggs that we found in it. Because I didn't read any reviews or any kind of videos before we went to go see the movie. So when I saw it, I was like, you know what? Let's just wait and let's see what we can figure out ourselves. So I did that, and that was cool. So that's if you want to check it out. The next thing is let's see. Oh, so the last episode we talked about James Cameron saying he wanted to do redo Terminator again. He wanted to do a new trilogy on it, and I didn't know what was going to happen with that. So there was some news that came out that James Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger are going to be coming out together for Terminator 6. So I'm not sure. I mean, with the Terminator universe, you can do this easily. You can reboot it easily. So they're both going to be back for Terminator 6, and I'm thinking it's going to be a soft reboot. So it's going to be part 6, and then it's going to start a new trilogy. I think it's going to be kind of like a Days of Future Past kind of thing with the X-Men. So if you're a fan of Terminator and time travel and all that stuff, Cameron and Schwarzenegger are back, so that's pretty cool too. Let's go into all right. Let's go into TV. So let's see, TV, right here. So if you guys were a fan of King of the Hill like I was, there's talks that there might be a revival for it, which would be pretty cool. Because I remember when the show ended, I was kind of like bummed out, and one of the reason why it I think one of the reasons why it ended was because at that time, Brittany Murphy had passed away, and that was, well, she played Luann. So I think that was one of the reasons why that they, kind of stopped it where it was at. But I was kind of sad to see it go. So supposedly there are talks for it to come back. So that's going to be pretty cool. Let's see. And then another revival that they're talking about is Hannibal. So I don't know if you guys are Hannibal or Silence of the Lambs fans or whatever, but that's gonna be that should be coming back too. There's talks for that going on. Let's see what else we got. So I don't know how that's gonna or how or when they're thinking about bringing that back, but that's gonna be pretty cool. Let me see the next piece of TV news. This one's kind of weird. This one's kind of weird because they tried a reboot a few years ago, and basically what it is Monsters. So there was my favorites out of these two monster guys. It was Monsters and Addams Family. Addams Family was my favorite, and Monsters had a reboot about, I don't know, I want to say like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. They tried to do a reboot on Halloween, and it was called Mockingbird Lane. So basically, a new reboot's coming out, and it's gonna be, Monsters, of course. So if you guys remember the Monsters, or your parents watched it, or whatever, you remember seeing it on TV, then it's coming back. But like I said, I was more of an Addams Family guy. So that's if you're interested in that, then yeah, there's that. And if you guys heard some stuff in the background, I'm in a park, so I had to move. I was chilling at a table, and then people came and started making noise and shit. So, okay, so I'm back. I'm focused now, and I'm tired because it's a walk while I was talking. I'm not fit. Okay, so more. Okay, so this is the last piece of TV news that I had, and I thought it was pretty interesting. There's gonna be a Deadpool animated series coming out. It's gonna be coming out on FXX, which is the other sub channel that Fox has. And what's pretty interesting is that Donald Glover and his brother Stephen Glover are working on the movie. And what's pretty crazy is that Donald Glover has been, pretty, busy with Marvel stuff, I guess, because now he's working with Deadpool. He voiced Miles Morales in one of the animated shows, and then also too, we all know he was in Spider-Man: Homecoming. So I don't know when it's coming out. I don't know how far they've gone into it. Supposedly it was announced like earlier this year. I didn't remember seeing. I don't remember seeing the news, because if I had seen it, I think me and Lewis probably would have talked about it. But I mean, regardless, we don't really have any other news except for that it's going to be on FXX. Like I said, I don't know when it's coming out. Probably sometime next year. But that's pretty crazy. Donald Glover is working on a Deadpool animated series. He said it's going to have a different tone from the movie, which I'm pretty sure, because the movie was rated R. But I mean, we all know how far Fox and those kind of channels can go with with their uh, their stuff. So that should be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. And like I said too before, whoever has control of it, you're gonna have some kind of variation on the character. His artwork, or I mean his artwork, the art style, or whatever. It just all depends on what artist has them. So I'm excited for that. Two more pieces of news, and then I guess I'll be done, and then we'll see you guys next time when Lewis comes back. If you want to talk to us, like I said, on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. I'll post that on my post in case you want to follow me. Um, we're on iTunes, so we're on iTunes podcast. Just look up Convo Breaker Geek Podcast. Also, too, if you have Android, you can either listen to us on the Castbox app or on the Podbean app. Podbean is what we run through. So basically, I think on any Android app you can find us on. Just look for Combo Breaker. So these are the last two pieces of news that I have. Me and Lewis like comic books, and we like crossover comic books. So I just found out Boom Studios, who does the Power Rangers comic books, who is doing the Power Rangers comic books right now, they're doing a crossover of Kong and Planet of the Apes. So it's going to be a 6-issue limited series, and it's going to be coming out in November. So I think I saw the artwork for the first issue. It looks pretty cool. Basically, it's basically, I think it's coming off of the end of Kong Skull Island, if I'm correct. I'm not sure, I'm probably wrong. But basically, like, there's a skull in the background, and then you have one of the apes on a horse, and I don't know, it looks pretty cool. And that comes out in November, so me and Lewis will probably try to pick that up. I don't know if he likes Planet of the Apes, but I think it's cool, and Kong is cool too. And speaking of crossovers, and speaking of Boom Studios at the same time, Lewis told me while he was away, he told me this a couple of days ago because he's been gone for a week, that the Power Rangers and Justice League limited series got canceled. I don't know how many issues that was supposed to run. I know he knows, but he told me that got canceled, which is really weird because usually limited series don't get canceled. And I'm kind of curious too, because you have these two big, teams, Power Rangers and Justice League. I mean, I can't imagine. I don't know. It just seems like you'd have a huge draw from fans for that. And I don't know. He said it was canceled. I hadn't seen the news. So if, I don't know. Yeah, if you guys heard anything about that, let us know. Let us know what you think about that. Let us know if you read any of those issues, because I know Lewis had. So yeah, there's that. And then one last piece of news, and then I'll get out of your ears, and then guys can, hit us up for whatever you want. Me and Lewis got the first Mega Man Legacy Collection when it came out. I forgot how many games it had, but I had got both versions of it. I had the PS4 version, which I got from my brother, and then me and Lewis got the DS version. But we got the special one. We pre-ordered it. That came with the gold Mega Man amiibo. And which sucks is that, I don't know if he knew about this, but I didn't know there was a Mega Man Legacy Collection 2. And it already came out. I don't know what games are on it. Well, which of his games are on it right now. I was going to check, but since I'm recording from my phone, not on my laptop, I can't really check on the link. But I didn't want to see them anyways, because I was kind of pissed that I didn't get a chance to get the game, and pre-order it. Well, I mean, I can still get it, but I didn't get a chance to pre-order it. I don't know if maybe it came with another amiibo or whatever, but there's 4 games included in this collection. And yeah, if you're a Mega Man fan, I thought that was pretty cool. So that's out. And then we're actually going to talk video games quite a bit for next episode, which is gonna be episode 30. So like I said, that's gonna be when Lewis comes back. So if you guys are interested, In next episode, it's gonna be our top 10 video games of all time. So basically, me and Lewis are each gonna have 10. I wanted to see if we could push it to 15 because I was having a hard time picking 10. But if you guys are interested, we're going to be talking about that aside from the news like we always do. And then also, too, we want to see what your top 10 favorite video games are of all time. So if you want to let us know, I'll leave the links on the page when I post it for this episode. And then, just leave it comments or Twitter if you can. Hit me up on Instagram. And then maybe we'll talk about some of your list on the show, too. Because that's what we want to do, too. We want to have you guys, leave us your questions, comments, opinions on the page, and then we'll read some of what you guys leave on the following show. So, like I said, top 10 video games. Yeah, it's gonna be that one's gonna be fun. Me and Lewis, we're pretty big gamers, and we're gonna talk about video games for a majority of that episode. And usually our episodes run about an hour and a half. And usually me and him have a back and forth. And also too, this week was kind of a slow news week, so we probably would have been talking about the top 10 video games this episode, but since he was gone, like I said, the whole folkloric dancing thing, we didn't get to talk about it this episode. So it's cool because it's going to be episode 30. Like I said, we're on Podbean. We're on the Podbean website and app for Android if you want to, listen to us on your phone from there. But yeah, so I'll post a link to the episode where you can download and listen to us. If you want to, like I said, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. It's MV7P0. I mean, MV7POINT0. There you go, MV 7.0. So at MV 7.0, Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, we're at ConvoBREAKER Geek Podcast. So yeah, like I said, you can search us on any of the Android podcast thingies and iTunes. Just hit us up, ConvoBREAKER at gmail.com, and yeah, we'll see you guys. Me and Lewis will both see you guys next time, and we should have our regular intro next episode for all you noobs out there who just jumped on the ConvoBREAKER train. So yeah, later.